we are joined by Joe Carnahan, writer and director of the new Liam Neeson movie, The Grey. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Big J. How are you, man?
I'm fantastic, and how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just carting my children to school in lovely Los Angeles in gridlock traffic. So.
Oh, that sounds like a total treat. Isn't it weird how life can be like that? Like today, you've got a huge movie opening up. You know, I'm sure you're gonna be hearing a lot of feedback from people, seeing a lot of numbers. Very exciting day, and then it's like, and you're stuck in traffic. Like life goes on.
And my kids don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They just need to live to school.
I love it. Yesterday we talked to Frank Grillo, and he said no matter what we talk about today, that you're going to be awesome. So you better be good.
He put too much pressure on me, man. Now I can't stink. So okay,
exactly.
Let's start this now. The pressure's building.
I was talking to Frank yesterday a little bit about this. When I heard about this movie, it sounded stupid. I'm just going to say, because I couldn't imagine how you could do it. I'm like, how do you make a whole movie about people just crashing and like trying to get out of the thing and there's wolves? I couldn't wrap my head around how you were going to make it good. Then I saw trailers and read reviews, and I'm totally into it now. I mean, everybody's loving the film, and it looks super exciting. Tell people kind of how you took a story that seems like, well, duh, yeah, it would suck, and turned it into this super exciting film.
Well, I think it's a lot of what people go to the movies to see. There's a tremendous amount of action. I think it's got probably the best plane crash people will ever see in a film. I mean, I'll say it hand on heart. I think we did a really nice job conveying exactly how terrifying it would be to go down in a plane. And it also has some very great kind of character stuff, and it's a wonderful character study with a guy like Liam Neeson. So I think it's kind of an unexpected film. Mm-hmm. So much so that Roger Ebert, who's been reviewing movies for 40-some-odd years, watched The Grey and then went to watch another film after and had to leave that film because The Grey did such a number on him. So I'll take that, man.
That's great.
9 times out of 10. It's just it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. Yeah, it works, and we don't know how it works, but it just works.
That's what I mean. Obviously, it's probably not surprising for you because you're so into it and you know what the film is and you know what it does to people. But to me, just so surprising. Even when I saw that first trailer, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But I had no idea that the critics were going to love it. I thought maybe like it's a guy movie, it's exciting, it's cool, but not something critics are going to see and say like, oh, wow, this is a great film. But not only do you have like the badass action excitement in the movie, but also it's critically acclaimed, like you said. I mean, what a cool package.
Yeah, I mean, you can do worse. We've been, all the big ones, all the, New York Times, L.A. Times, Vanity Fair, Time Magazine. They've all shown us. Rolling Stone. They've all kind of raved about the film. So it's been incredible, man, and pleasantly surprising.
That's cool. This the movie we're talking about is The Grey. We're talking to Joe Carnahan, writer and director. How do you decide, Joe, when you write a film? Do you always? I know not always, but I mean from here on out, like, do you plan on always directing the movies you write, or how do you decide if you're going to be writer and director, or just producer, just writer, just director? Like, how does that decision come about?
I've got this thing that I just wrote that I really love, but I don't see myself directing it, but I'll definitely produce it, and the more important thing is I own it, because I didn't write it for any studio money. And I think I did the same thing with The Grey. That wasn't anything that anybody wanted to buy necessarily, because it was, I think, listen, a lot of it was kind of your initial thoughts about it. People thought, well, that looks stupid. How are you going to do that movie? And I think until you've done it,
Yeah, and you have no idea there. That's awesome. What, you got a new movie coming up calling Killing Pablo? Is that true? Are you there, Joe?
Huh.
Oh, there you are. I can hear you now.
Nope, that's not him. Let me see where he went, guys. Hold on one sec.
Thank you, Bob. Just a sec. We're going to wait for Bob. That's our friend Bob. Shout out to Bob in New York City. He's going to see where he went here. They better not say any bad words. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to turn him down, so if they do say bad words, it's very quiet.
Very quiet.
Did he just go? Oh, no, they're still there. Okay. Joe Carnahan, writer and director of the film The Grey. I love that. I'm like, no, I can hear you now.
In theaters today.
No, that's not him.
I'm here.
Joe, we're back. All right, there he is.
Oh, my God, I don't know what happened, man. I know what happened. I'm in L.A. And, of course, of all the places in the world, Los Angeles probably has the most dropped calls, so I apologize.
I understand. Hey, no problem. No problem at all. So,
I don't know, where did I leave off? Was I talking about I don't know where I lost you guys. But,
you were talking about the film that you wrote, and that other people kind of wrote this one off, and you did it yourself without studio support initially?
Yeah. And so I think, again, it's very important to me to write my own stuff, and I think it's because I'm probably horribly insecure and don't know any other way. So I'm saying I'm very I'm very fond of guys like Spielberg who can take somebody else's script and make it their own, but I've not mastered that yet.
Yeah. It's got to be... What do you do? I mean, what part do you enjoy the most? The writing, the directing, the end product? I mean, in the whole series here, you're so involved.
Yeah, I think, listen, I enjoy all of them, but there's few places I'd rather be than on a set. I mean, I really love being on set, and I also love the editorial process is a lot of fun for me because I started as an editor, so... I actually had them put in the business. They have Avids, which are essentially nonlinear computer editing bays, and I had them put one in my house just so I could torture my family at all hours by working on the movie. But I thought it was really helpful, and it really because I started as a writer way back when, and I think it's like the final writing process. But listen, man, I'm so fortunate and been so lucky to make movies in any capacity. I'm everything about it I enjoy.
Very cool. It's such a fun thing. Do you hang out with some of these celebrities? I mean, you've got Liam Neeson in this film here. It's like, do you, as a writer-director guy, do you have those celebrity friends do the kind of Hollywood thing, or are you like strictly business?
No, I've got guys that I'm obviously friends with. Liam and Bradley Cooper and I are pals, and I've got guys I have fellow directors. My friend Gavin O'Connor, who directed Warrior, he and I are quite close. So there's a nice little kind of fraternity of guys, but they're all very like-minded. They're not really Hollywood, quote unquote Hollywood types.
How do you hang out with Bradley Cooper when you've got kids?
Bradley, he's surprisingly tame. You just have to know him to know what a big softy and a big sweetheart he is. He's not. He may seem like the guy from The Hangover. He's anything but.
All right, I'll take your word for that. To me, he seems like a trained lady killer.
I didn't say he wasn't that. I just think he might be a highly trained professional lady killer.
Exactly.
But he happens to be a really decent guy and a lot of fun, too.
Very cool. Well, hey, Joe, I'm going to say either you got to bring the family out here and visit Montana sometime or shoot part of a project out here, definitely.
I'm a big fan, man. I've been to Billings once, and I loved it, and I think it's a beautiful part of the country, and I'd certainly like that, man.
Excellent. Very cool. Well, Joe's new movie, The Gray, is out today. Opens in 2 theaters here in Billings. It's a fantastic film from everything we're hearing, so go check it out. Excitement, action, best plane crash ever. Promised by Joe here. The movie is The Gray, starring Liam Neeson, Joe Carnahan, writer and director. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Joe. Have a good one, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.